Oh, I guess we can start by if you can just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background before you came to do your course with Bahn Thai School.
Yeah, great. So my name's Angela Lilly. I'm a massage therapist in Newfoundland, Labrador. I run my own clinic here just out of my home, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. And I've been doing that since 2017. Yeah, I have a lot of different modalities that I like to offer and have done. Anybody who knows me or comes to me knows that I dial right in on a lot of different trainings. I have a like vast variety, so some that work directly with the nervous system, other ones that are like deep or light myofascial kind of work, like yeah.
That's really
So
cool.
yeah, so this was like a perfect addition to what I
Mhm.
do. Yeah.
Awesome, great. I'm glad I fit in. How did you hear about us? Because you're by the coast, so how did
Yeah. Well, quite honestly, I was looking for ways to get to Thailand to do the international Thai massage course there. Well, basically, as much as I could get done, I wanted to do. But just with my life situation, everything right now, I was like, it's not feasible. How can I do this? And it was like, there must be something in Canada. There's got to be something here that I could fly here for, somewhere in Canada for a week to do a course or two and just get started. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I think I just looked you guys up. I was looking at big cities, so and I'm from Ontario, so I was like, well, Toronto would be awesome. And you guys like came right up and it was amazing. And your website, I saw just like a few of the treatment rooms that you have and the layout and everything. I was like, that looks wonderful. I saw that it was from the same trainings and the same course that is offered in Thailand. So I was like, oh, that couldn't be more perfect. That's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like
Mm.
it almost worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear that it kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess you kind of already talked about it, but when you first got here, what were your impressions of it? I guess seeing it in person and exploring the school and when you were kind of feeling out the course as it started.
Well, I gotta say, overall, like, I felt so welcomed and so like I just felt so warm and like it was such a perfect place to learn, especially for a caring and therapeutic modality, like it was not like walking into a classroom, it was like walking into a place where I'm really going to learn like a holistic approach and with people who truly care and deeply care. They've committed their lives to, not perfecting, but like I don't think perfect should be a word really. But a committed and dedicated, loving practice.
Yeah.
When I first got in, the owner of the school, Kate, was saying like, oh, are you hungry? Did you get this? She had made soup for the staff and she offered me some. Like, it was just such a like immediately I just like plopped into the scene and was like, oh my God, this is perfect. So I don't know, when learning a new modality, often it like I feel nervous and probably many do, you feel everybody feel not everybody, but I feel like kind of intimidated sometimes or like a little bit like, oh, what am I getting into? Or, I don't know what this is like. And you feel like you're stepping into this whole other community that's completely unfamiliar. But I think community was such a perfect word to describe that overall feel of stepping into like Bahn Thai and getting trained there and everything. It was professional and like tidy and like true to the practice in like such a loving way and warm and approachable. And I didn't feel like I felt supported. I didn't feel Sorry, I didn't feel intimidated. I didn't feel like, oh God, what's this gonna like, how am I gonna fit in here? I wasn't preoccupied with all that stuff. And so it really did help me to like, focus in and develop and learn this new practice, both to honor like the traditional practice as it is and all of the spiritual depth and everything else that comes with it and the caring approach, the slowness, but also to honor it in my own way, to take it in as like, and develop it as my own practice, have my own flavor. So I gotta say it was phenomenal. Like I'm like, okay, when are you gonna do more?
Yeah.
Because yeah,
That's really great. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. It sounds, again, like it just worked out perfect and kinda lined up for you. Seems like you got a lot
100%.
out of it. That's really good to hear.
Mm.
Speaking about the course itself, were there any skills or knowledge that, you kinda stand out to you specific to the ITM and just the Thai massage in general that you've been implementing or, like, you think are just, like,
Mm.
really core things for you?
Well, first of all, the spirit, I gotta say, like, the biggest thing that surprised me was the spirituality component. Like, I'm a Reiki master. I do spiritual and energetic work as well. But that was a surprisingly, um, like profound component of the Thai massage that I learned with
Mhm.
you guys. That was beautiful. And it really truly does make a difference. I'm saying the prayers to Dr. Shivago. If anybody who's going to learn this practice, then you'll be taught that there. And it's just so profoundly beautiful, and it really does help guide my practice. And not just in the Thai massage, but in my regular practice overall. So it's wonderful. Um, and I'm so happy to be exploring more of that. And seeing these like mysterious spiritual ways that it kind of affects my everyday and like, strengthens it. um, Especially at work, of course. And then the honestly, the stretching and movement component and that slow, beautiful pace that it takes, So in my practice, I've often tried to combine both like on table and on the mat work, over the clothes. And as many of the traditional Thai massage is over the clothes. So um, incorporating more of that like more of these styles of stretches and gentle movement and slow like meditative sort of presence with your client and that I've often you're doing it together. I've often said in my own practice, like even if it's that a client is just coming in and lying down and accepting treatment, that's their participation. But in any therapeutic work, there is a give and take. There is a participation of the person who's having the work done. And that can be just receiving. But I find with this modality, it's such a beautiful, like the way that it's movement based and um, I think one of my clients even said when I worked on her and I did one at like a 90-minute Thai massage, she said that it was like we're doing yoga together. It was like, oh, that's so beautiful. And I do feel that, and you can feel them release in these different ways. Whereas, so often in my practice, it's just like, like it's just pressure from
Yeah.
me and them receiving. They're not active, but in a Thai massage, they're very, very relaxed and passive, but they're receiving it in this beautiful flowing way that I really enjoy. And a lot of my clients, they get so much out of it. They come out of it feeling really refreshed and relaxed and like their bodies are moving in the way that they want it to.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
that's a really good way to put it. It's funny, we always say with Bahn Thai, it's like, "We do your yoga for you," so it's funny that you have
Yeah.
He's like, "Yes, that's exactly it."
Yeah.
No, that's really good. How was your experience with the instructor and the books that, just the information that you were given, and was it easy to read? Anything? All good?
Hmm. So I gotta say, Len, the instructor, was like so phenomenal. And I know he's super humble. He doesn't like to like have people
Yeah.
boast about him. He was really clear about that in a lot of ways,
Mhm.
just the person that he is, but also that. But like again, following that same like tone that I was welcomed with. He's like, listen, I'm not here to like reprimand you or discipline you or like tell you right or wrong. It's more about, well, I mean, he would make corrections when we needed them. You know, if we were doing something that's not within that practice, then of course he was there to instruct very much and very well, very specifically sometimes, and then other times in a way that was like just a great guidance, you know, for us to find our own way. But I gotta say, like, he has such a talent for making people feel comfortable, like they can come out as themselves and just be there authentically and relaxed. And again, that professional air, but very warm and just chill, like just really, really, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the books. I wasn't as much a fan of some of the diagrams. There was diagrams for every single movement that you make, and that's wonderful. And the descriptions of the movements were really thorough. I did like how they're laid out. Um, the pictures are a little bit confusing, so, but they do make sense once you actually do learn the
Mhm.
practice. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good to know, we'll keep that in mind.
Cool.
And yeah, no, it's Lens I've just watched him teach before. I haven't ever taken the level 1 or level 2, but it seems like it's just a very chill class and fun to be a part of, so that's great to hear that you have that.
Yeah.
Um,
I want to add like you get more out of it than what's in the book. You know, he like you can tell that because he loves it so much, he goes far beyond, you know. And I don't want
mhm.
to set a precedent where like, you know, that like Len's always got to go far and beyond, but like he really you could just tell that he loves what he does and so he puts it all in there, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing a great job as well with these questions. I feel like you're answering so
Oh,
many of them in one go. It's
oh
going
good.
great.
Good.
If you were to recommend this course to just a friend or a colleague, what would you say about it? Anything?
Honestly, kind of everything that I've already said, that it was like such a like really nurturing and like learning environment. That the I have to say for any massage therapist out there, especially anybody who applies deep pressure, holy moly, like what a change to my practice. Like normally I have to very diligently stay on top of my body's balance and muscle activation and health just to make sure that I'm not causing repetitive strain injuries to myself. I'm a pretty small woman and I got a lot of power. So like it's tough on the joints, it's tough on the body to do this kind of work, as many people know. And then it eventually can wear you down. But for anybody who is wanting to maintain balance in their own like body and in their own life, in terms of practicing a therapeutic modality like this, my God, like the difference, it's amazing. I'm not hurting because my movements are so much more dynamic in my everyday practice. So I'm not constantly pushing, I'm pulling, I'm lifting. I'm like, you know, I'm doing all and I'm rotating a little bit too, you know, it's all um adding to the balance of my physicality in my work. And I can't tell you how valuable just that component alone is. Like
Mhm.
Like I'll get a little like I'll get vulnerable for a moment here. Like last year, I honestly I was a little scared for the longevity of my practice because I started to have some real, impeding repetitive strain injuries that I was like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I knew that, and I've been working toward like changing things up quite a bit for a long time, but nothing was really hitting the bullseye in terms of not just mitigating, but like changing the direction of that repetition and that everyday wear and tear. But that course, like I'm like, oh my God, now I feel like I can do this the rest of my life. Like I don't it brought such like levity and such like dynamic and balanced strength and like so much more of a relaxed tone for me in my practice to be able to move and treat people ever so much more effectively or just as much effectively at least, but in these different ways that are feeling great for my body. And that's so that just made such a world of difference. And I gotta say, I think it's made even a difference for my clientele because as much as I'm a very professional and I'm great at what I do, I'm happy to say that. I think we all should be happy about our own confidence in what we do. Um, I've always, treated them and been very effective in my treatments. However, I feel that this sense of ease, that this that doing the training with ITM with you guys there at Bon Spa, um, it resonates in my treatments. My clients are responding even better than they did before. And I think a big part of that is my own presence, my own underlying tone, where before if you're coming in really in pain and you're trying to help other people with their pain, there's only so much you can give. And it's just a human finite fact, that's just a thing.
Mhm.
But this practice, it being so easeful and like, I don't know, just the way that it's affected me has created so much ease and so much more effectiveness and like balance happiness in my practice. That's like any massage therapist. I'm like, do it. Do it because you won't regret it. You'll be able to use different points of pressure like your knees and your feet and your shins and stuff and pulling and stretching focus that our clients do need as well. It's very hard to do on the table.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's really interesting to hear how it's affected both you and your clients. That's really
Mm.
good. And I think dynamic is such a good word as well to describe the practice. It
Mhm.
really is just such a big dynamic amount of like shifting and moving between you and the client. That's a really good word for that.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Um, okay, I'll give one last question. It's kind of a just like a bit of a more interesting, fun one. But if you had to describe Thai massage in 3 to 5 words, what would
Mm.
you say?
I'm gonna steal that word dynamic right now. Um, 3 to 5 words. Okay. So dynamic, balanced, spiritual, um, in not a licentious way, obviously, but just to keep it appropriate, but juicy. Like literally, you're just like, oh, like the tissues just melt, when you get into a nice, juicy, deep stretch, and you're like, whoa, like it's so
Yeah.
nice. What's another word? Oh my goodness, there's one that somebody said to me the other day. It was so good. Oh, oh, I wish I had it. I'll send it to you later if I can think of it.
Those are good.
Um, but like, yeah, like, um, mm, What's like a word for feeling lighter?
Mm, I don't wanna say bubbly because I know that's not right, the
Yeah.
right word, but, like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Let's just say
Floating?
lighter.
Light lighter, yeah, you know what? It
Yeah,
works.
lighter.
I like that. Awesome, thank you.
You're
Uh,
so welcome.
yeah, that's all the questions I have for now, so thanks so much for taking the time to talk about your experience with ITM and Thai massage and just Bahn Thai School and Spa. It's been really great to chat with you.
Yes,
I'll
you too.